and welcome to You Write, the podcast where creativity meets community.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Each week on You Write, we challenge our listeners to write a story in just 30 minutes, using 3 of 5 randomly generated words.
It's a fun and fast-paced exercise to spark your imagination and get those creative juices flowing.
We'll read your submissions, offer feedback, and discuss the unique twists and turns of each story.
So whether you're an aspiring author or just love a good tale, You Write is your place to explore the endless possibilities of storytelling.
So grab a drumstick, like the type that you play drums with, the blood of your foes, get comfortable, and let's dive into this week's stories.
And remember, the only limit is your imagination and 30 minutes. And I guess maybe how many friends you have.
Right.
So let's see what you got.
How many foes you have.
How many foes you have.
Let's see what you got.
So how's it going?
It's going great. I'm very, very pleased to be here right now. I'm just happy to be here. And I would like to shortly mention that I don't know if y'all have heard of The Who. I know that you have. Yeah. Okay. So The Who is a Mongolian band.
There it is.
They're very badass.
They are quite badass. I hear them more often than there's probably a song or two that people have heard. It's like, oh, actually, I do know.
Yeah.
The Who.
Oh yeah. And they, by the way, that name doesn't mean anything, but I mean, it kind of sounds like some things, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Kind of like the band Kansas. Doesn't really mean anything.
Right. Kansas means absolutely nothing. Anyway, they mix heavy metal with traditional Mongolian music.
Yeah, it's pretty sick because you get the throat singing and everything mixed in.
You get the throat singing and you get the horse fiddling, which to me is the badassest part. But the baddest ass part.
The baddest of asses part.
Yes, the baddest of the asses. But they have, and usually it's the horse fiddler. No, like traditionally in Mongolia, it's the horse fiddler that also does the throat singing. Like they do both.
I didn't realize it was both.
It is that way in that band as well.
Oh.
Although there's a backup horse fiddler, and I believe there's a backup throat singer. But the main guy, who is a very good horse fiddler, which by the way is called the Murnhor. But anyway, so me and my Mongolian, not my best friend, but this other guy who is from Xinjiang province in China, and he is a ethnic group, one of the ethnic groups there.
He is an ethnic group?
He is an entire ethnic group. He himself.
Oh, sick.
Yes.
Wow.
And we went, there was a concert that came here of The Who, and we went to it. And, but the thing about this guy is that he doesn't really speak Mongolian because he grew up in this Chinese province. He understands the Mongolian of his grandma, but he doesn't really speak it very much. And also it's very different from standard Mongolian. Anyway, and so we went, and after it was so badass. And after the show, I told him, I was like, let's go find the band. And he was like, God, no, please don't make us do this. I was like, yes, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And so, I climbed the fence that was separating the crowd from the backstage. And I waited until I saw members of The Who, and I saw the drummer. They were loading stuff up on their bus. And I was like, hey, and I was talking to them in Mongolian, and I was like, hey, there's Mongolian people here. Hey. And
said the whitest person there, probably.
I was not the whitest. Okay. But
you were competing.
Yeah. But either way, it got his attention.
Yeah.
And he came over, and I was like, come talk to us. No, he tossed us a drumstick.
Sick.
Yes. And I still have it to this day. But I was like, come over and talk to us. And I kept just harassing him. And he finally came over, and I was talking to him in Mongolian. And then I was talking about the guy I was with. Tieliga is his Chinese name. Tirgith is his Mongolian name.
Huh.
But anyway, and I was like, this guy, yeah, he was like, what about this guy? Or he asked, why do you know Mongolian? And I told him why. And then he was like, what about this guy? I was like, well, he's like, I said he's Inner Mongolian, which he's not. But my best friend who is Mongolian had called him Inner Mongolian before. So I did that. And unfortunately, Tia Liga understood me when I was calling him Inner Mongolian. And he interrupted me and he was like, I am not Inner Mongolian. I am from Xinjiang province. And so anyway, and then afterwards, and we had like a really good chat. And I told the drummer to bring the rest of the band over, but he was like, they're not going to come over. So I was like, okay.
You got me. This is it.
Yeah. Anyway, and then after he walked off, Tia Liga was like, why did you say that I was Inner Mongolian? Like he was really pissed. And I was like, sorry. He was like, I'm not Inner Mongolian. I was like, I know, but sorry. The end.
Oh, why? But why? Why did you? Just because he had been referred to as Inner Mongolian and before by somebody else?
I said that because I don't know the term for, because here's the thing, like Mongolians very much differentiate themselves between Inner Mongolians, and they also differentiate themselves between Mongolians from like ethnic provinces in China. And so I don't know the term for those Mongolians. I only knew the term for Inner Mongolian. And also my best friend who is Mongolian had referred to him using that term before. So I was like, okay, maybe that's works for any Mongolian that's in another place besides Mongolia.
Interesting.
Or something. So that's why I did it. But he got really pissed. But then he forgave me.
Well, at least that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end. That's my drumstick story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what inspired that.
Yes.
Nice.
So I have a question. Why is your voice fucked up right now?
So a couple days ago, I was eating a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting there, just talking with my coworker, like we're working on some stuff, and then you know how you like randomly just like swallow throughout the day, like you don't even really think about it.
Yeah.
Like you probably just did it like just now
because
it's just like a sympathetic response.
Right.
Yeah. So I did that, and I had really horrible pain in my throat just all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
So cut to the chase. I ended up going to the doctor. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to swallow for like 3 days. I felt like something just like broke in my body. I was freaking out. So I go to the doctor, and they tell me it's like, yeah, so there's like this choking response. Like if your body thinks that you're choking, there's these tiny little muscles that will actually pull your trachea back and keep you from choking, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's completely involuntary. You have no control over it. And I was like, I don't ever remember even coming close to choking. And they're like, it could have been a muscle spasm, but they're like, what were you eating? I was like, oh, some like Flamin' Hot Cheetos. She's like, probably some Cheeto dust. Got in your trachea and it went thup.
Oh my goodness.
And I ended up essentially spraining my epiglottis.
What?
Isn't that amazing?
You sprained your epiglottis?
Not it specifically, but the muscles all around it. Yeah. It's so weird. They said to treat it like a sprained ankle.
Like wrap it? Like use a crutch?
Well, as soon as they said that, I was like, so should I keep it elevated above my heart? They're like, it's always doing that. So I was like, okay, that's easy enough.
Should you ice it?
Actually, I think icing it would help quite a bit because I can actually touch it and it's really sore. It's really weird.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's all like surface level throat pain, which like usually you think like, you know, sore throat, it's all like your trachea or whatever, you know, but no.
Oh, wow.
These are the muscles around like my Adam's apple.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither. But I did it.
Good job.
I did it.
And that was 2 days ago, you say?
That was on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. So is it ever going to recover or?
They said probably 7 to 10 days. I'll be all right.
Dang.
But yeah, it's so weird. Like I felt like my voice was doing fine until like late yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, what is happening? Because there's like weird parts of my vocal range that just break.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
That is weird.
It's very strange.
Wow.
Because, yeah, I still got all the high stuff, and I got most of the low stuff.
But nothing in the middle.
But in the middle, it starts, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me, though. Like, when singing, it's those transitional points that are, like, risky. You
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
So could we coin a new term for throat pain? Could we call it thrain?
Obviously.
Okay, so you're experiencing thrain.
Okay, so with thrain, could be throat pain, or that could be thick rain.
Mm-hmm.
Which is more appropriate?
I feel like throat pain because
rain.
I don't think that we've yet encountered
thick rain. Good. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think thrain should be throat pain.
Then I had much thrain on Monday.
I love it. You endured much thrain and you survived.
I did. Yeah.
Good job.
Unbroken.
Indomitable.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Did you see all of our stories?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Quite.
Yes. And who did we decide to read this week?
We decided to read Echoes by Jake.
Yes. Also known as the Prismatics 19.
That's right. Are you going to read? I'm going to read because you're having thrain.
Due to my thrain, I would appreciate your your expertise, please. Thank you.
Quite. Mm-hmm. The jarring peal cracked through the air like a whip, sending reverberations bouncing back from the canyon walls around them. Darla moved surprisingly quickly for a woman in her 50s, both hands going to her backside and her legs, doing what they used to call high knees when she was in high school track. Jesus Christ, Rob! What in the hell was that for? She exclaimed in a burst of anger that, like the slap that her butt just received, echoed all around the lonesome duo at the bottom of the canyon. Rob gave Darla an exasperated sigh as he looked down at his hand, now red and sore, and shook his head. Oh, come on. I was just trying to be a little frisky. Then, seeing his grand and elaborate scheme of smacking an unexpecting woman on the ass fail in front of his eyes, he added, I knew you were going to be like this today. Darla's eyes held a flash of a million memories of fights and disagreements. They went across her face and bounced around in her mind like the echoes of their voices in the painted walls of the canyon they were hiking in. Don't, Robert, we're not doing this here. Her voice like pumice stone. Well, why not? We came all the way here to escape all of that shit back home, but it looks like some things follow you around. His voice, like sandpaper. A few moments of silence followed, before he almost whimpered. Sorry, that was too hard. Darla simply turned and kept walking. She moved with a purpose and poise that was uncommon for her. These days, she didn't feel much like she had purpose, going through life like a woman adrift in an ocean of stuckness. She was on a small lifeboat, the SS Darla, with no rescue boat in sight. The vacation in China had been her idea. She felt like a drastic change of environment would give them a new perspective on things. They might come out of it being stronger in their marriage than ever before, unified against the world once more, like they used to be. The worst of it was that, if prompted to point out the glaring issues with their relationship, she would not be able to do it. No outward signs of abuse from Robert. He had never hit her, never screamed, never belittled. To put a fine point on it, they simply weren't the same people they were when they started out on this journey. Robert became a miserable lump that only seemed to be desperate to find company for his own misery. Living with someone like that had changed Darla to a degree that she no longer liked the person that she had become. Their lifeboats had drifted apart, and there seemed to be no way to navigate them back to each other. China might be a drastic enough change in ocean that they could drift back to each other. So far, though, it seemed that nothing was going to change. It's just up here, Rob. Darla spoke calmly after finally spying what they had come into this canyon for. It was a small opening in the rocks. A number of small, ladylike handprints outlined it. It was a vertical slit in the rock about 8 foot tall and 3 feet across, and Darla understood why the ladies she had met the night before had called it what they did. Rob stood, hands on his hips, and looking at the wall in its crevice with disbelief. This is what we came all this way for? Shit, Darla, are you serious? Robert, please, don't do this. They told me that we needed to come out here and see the wound. You're supposed to go first. Then I follow after you're in for a moment. They said that when you find each other in there, in the dark, it does something. It seals your souls. She put on her best dejected face and looked down. I think part of the idea was that we were supposed to enjoy the trip through the canyon. Rob, though miserable, was not dumb enough to push this issue. However, he didn't have to do so happily. Some old world mumbo jumbo, he snorted. Then, to Darla's surprise, he headed to the mouth of the cave. How far am I supposed to go in? Darla let tears come to her eyes, only misty traces of them, but tears all the same. She gave her best wifely smile and said, I'm not supposed to know, dummy. Then, with a crack in the voice, she said, Thank you, Rob. Resigned that he was headed into some stupid witch doctor wives' tale, Rob pulled out his flashlight and went into the cave. Darla watched with anticipation as, after he got about 30 feet in, he turned his light off, plunging him into utter blackness. Darla moved quickly because she didn't know how long she had before her stubborn ass of a husband got fed up and started walking back. She pulled the knife that one of the women from the previous night had given her. Before she could think about it long enough to stop, she stabbed the knife into her hand 3 times and began pumping her fist. It hurt like a mad bastard, but she squeezed the invisible stress ball 7 times, just as they had said to. Are you coming, Darla? This is getting... Rob began. His voice cut off as soon as Darla had put her hand to the wall. The wound of Venus had worked. Darla didn't know the full details of how, but she immediately knew that it had worked. Her lifeboat was once again on its own, but in that solitary nature, it became stronger. Rob's final words never echoed in the canyon walls.
Excellent.
Excellent. Loved it.
Hell yeah. And not at all the direction I thought it was going to end up.
I had 0 predictions for this. I was just like, I don't know where this is going. And yeah, I didn't expect it to go there either.
I guess my expectation was more leaning towards like reconciliation between them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were going to come to some place and like some magical place that showed like, oh, yes, we can come back together in this way. But no, that was not the case.
No, well, actually, there towards the end, I did start expecting her to stab him, you know? And then when she was like, even before the knife came out, when she was like, you go in first, I felt like she was going to try to kill him. And then the knife came out and I was like, okay, she's going to stab him. But she didn't even have to do that. She just stabbed herself and put her handprint on the rock wall. So apparently that's how you kill your husband.
Yeah. So long as you're at the wound of Venus.
Right.
Lots of symbology there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And with it being called the wound, I thought they were going to basically come to some sort of confrontation that led to growth between them. Oh. It's like they were confronting an old wound or something, like something deep, like something profound that they were going to essentially confront together. But no, it was straight up. Would you call that vengeance, I guess? Or
I don't think she had anything to avenge.
Yeah.
I think that she just wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just a matter of convenience. Yeah. But I knew immediately that was a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before, and then when the word wound, I was like, LOL.
Yeah.
Because only from the description of the dimensions of the entrance, which was 3 feet wide and wait, where is it? Hold on. Oh yes, a vertical slit that was 8 feet tall and 3 feet across. I was like, that sounds like a puss. That sounds like a muff.
Yeah, it's going to great lengths to be sure to characterize it rather vaginally. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's
It's symbolic for sure.
Hold on, wait. What's the there's the word phallic, but what's the word referring to female anatomy? Can we say yonic?
Sure.
Okay.
Spell it.
Yonic. I just created that word.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Phallic and yonic.
Right. Very yonic. Very yonic description. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, after that, I didn't even know. But you know what it reminds me of is on Patch Adams. That's the name of the movie, right?
With Robin Williams as the doctor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he does...
Wow, deep cut.
Yeah, where he does a clinic or like a expo or something.
Oh,
and he makes it, and it's for gynecology, and he makes it like open legs, and you walk into the slit.
Yeah, the double doors go right.
That's the entrance. Yes, that was hilarious.
The wound of Venus looks like that.
That was hilarious.
Oh man, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, so there's a lot of great stuff that leads us to that moment, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've kind of harped on it to the point that it's really setting up a direction before you take a turn in a story.
Mm-hmm.
The direction of this is really well established, I feel like.
Totally.
I especially wanted to call out this paragraph. Darla's eyes held a flash of a million memories of fights and disagreements. They went across her face and bounced around in her mind like the echoes of their voices in the painted walls of the canyon they were hiking in. Mm-hmm. Beautifully said.
That was beautiful.
What a great way to reinforce the scene as well.
Yes, and I'm glad that you highlighted that, because that was the point where I stopped and paused and was like, that is a beautiful description, especially the part about her eyes held a flash of a million memories. I love that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, a million memories of fights and disagreements. Yeah, it's just excellent writing.
Yeah,
Jake. Yeah, lovely. Very, very well done. And immediately following that, I kind of want to run through this. Don't, Robert. We're not doing this here. Her voice like pumice stone. Well, why not? We came all the way here to escape all that shit back home, but it looks like some things follow you around. His voice, like sandpaper. I like and dislike that at the same time. Her voice, like pumice stone. His voice, like sandpaper. It seems like it feels like it may be an unintentional use of simile twice, or it could be drawing parallels between them. I feel like
it's an intentional juxtaposition.
But it's not. It doesn't feel like a juxtaposition, because a pumice stone is rough and coarse like sandpaper, and his voice is like sandpaper is rough and coarse like a pumice stone. So it doesn't really juxtapose. They're both sort of similing around the same coarseness. Yeah. So again, I didn't quite know what to do with that. I liked it and I disliked it at the same time. Okay. I just wanted to call it out for exactly how it left me, because after I finished reading it, I was like, oh, it was two similes too close together. Like it, but then I got to looking, as like, it is a parallel though. Yeah. But it's not anything to draw any contrast between them. Maybe it's meant to show their similarity. Yeah, that like they're both bitter and rough people. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about it mainly. Okay. Yeah.
The problem that I had that stood out to me was the commas. I wish that those commas were not there. I wish it said her voice like pumice stone, his voice like sandpaper. Yeah. I want the commas to go away, but maybe Jake, you did that intentionally for some reason, but I just feel like it would read more cohesively without them.
Yeah. A little bit more naturally, maybe.
Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah, I agree. The commas confuse it a little bit. I think it may be for pacing. Yeah. Her voice like sandpaper, or her voice like pumice stone. Yeah. But I just wanted to call that out because it seemed very intentional. Yeah. And again, I love the idea of drawing parallels between them.
Yes, me too. I feel like there was a lot of nautical symbology here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like that metaphor. It comes up first, not too far after what we were just discussing. She was on a small lifeboat, the SS Darla, with no rescue boat in sight. I really like that metaphor of going through life on a boat, just kind of adrift on the sea of time.
Yeah.
And admittedly, it's a metaphor that I've used in my own writing, and it's one that's always stuck with me. So I really latch on to that that kind of theme that you bring up in here, and the fact that it recurs, I really like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just the it's oh man, I think that goes back to high school for me, where I first heard that metaphor, more or less, drifting across the sea of time.
Yeah.
And your own lifeboat, and you just link up with people and you make rafts. You can link up with a lot of people and make a huge ship sailing through time. Or you can be by yourself on your little canoe, adrift in time.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I really do. I like that. It strikes an excellent visual in the reader. And its intent is pretty obvious, I feel like. So I really like that use of that metaphor.
Yes. If I had a boat, go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride it on that boat. You know that song?
It sounds familiar.
So good.
Who's that?
It is. Is there a CH or a double L in it? There's got to be a double L in it. That's all I remember.
Lyle Lovett.
Oh, yeah.
From 1988.
It is such a good jam. Oh, my God.
That song's as old as me.
So good. Maybe that's your spirit song. Ever think about that?
No, but now I am.
Well, maybe you should.
Now I am. Yeah. Also, this part. The worst, so this paragraph beginning, the vacation in China had been her idea. We arrive at this line a little bit later in the paragraph. The worst of it was that if prompted to point out the glaring issue with their relationship, she would not be able to do it. No outward sign of abuse from Robert. He had never hit her, never screamed, never belittled. I love the complicated nature of their dysfunction.
Yeah.
It's not clear. No one can point to like, this is what's wrong. It's all opaque. It's all obfuscated. It's all lost. It's real. It's tangible.
Yeah.
But completely
gray area.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's real life. It's never black and white.
And I love that you call out the complicated nature of their dysfunction. I really like that. That's
I too enjoy that. I was surprised when I found that they were in China, because I was expecting them to be like in the Grand Canyon or something.
Yeah. You know? I was actually expecting the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it was like, oh, we're in China. I was like, whoa. Okay.
They have canyons in China?
Right. Okay.
Which I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I've never seen one, but I'm sure they do.
They have everything else there. Why would canyons
Why
be
not
any
a
different?
canyon? Yeah. Exactly.
We sound probably so ignorant right now.
Well, I mean, I've been to China. I was only like on the ocean and in the city. So I never saw canyons.
Yeah. Yeah. And, this part here, it was a small opening in the rocks. A number of small ladylike handprints outlined in. Should that be outlined it or outlined therein? You see that part? You see where I'm at down
yes,
here?
I see it. I don't know, because whenever I was reading it, I was like,
I believe you read it as it.
I did. That's how I read it, because outlined in didn't make sense at all. But it was a small opening in the rocks. A number of small ladylike handprints outlined it. I think it's supposed to be it.
Yeah. I was thinking because in felt specific. I was like, maybe therein? Outlined therein? I don't know. I just wanted to call it out.
I think it's supposed to be it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, that's just what I think. But and also I like how happy Darla is when she finds that her husband is no longer among us.
Yeah. And so what do you think happened to poor Robert?
That's a good question. He either died or he just disappeared.
Yeah, just poof.
Yeah.
Because his voice didn't echo. Like his final words didn't echo.
Well, but then again, he was in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
So would they have echoed?
I think he was unborn.
Like disappeared from existence.
Yeah, like the wound of Venus works backwards from every other
because you go back into the birth canal.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good interpretation. I like that.
Yeah. That's what kind of came to mind, because it's like there's so much imagery and symbology moving us to that point. I was like, he just unborn himself.
I think you're right.
Well, and it took the intent of his wife here.
Yeah.
Of Darla.
Yeah.
To achieve that.
Weird.
Very weird. But the blood is equally metaphorical too. Like,
that's cool.
That's wild. That's really wild.
That is really fucking wild.
And I would never have thought about something that metaphysical, I guess, or supernatural, if it weren't for the line that his final words didn't echo. It's like everything else they've said has been echoing around them.
That's true. So it's like he's ceased to exist.
Yeah, it's just felt like something other happened, and so that was the best I could come up with. But
yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I love that. I bet you that is what Jake did there.
Man, this is a wild ride.
It is, and that's the kind that I love the most. It's just zany. It's like bizarre.
This doesn't even feel like zany. Doesn't feel right. Bizarre, yes. It's certainly unusual, but this is kind of dealing with very realistic relationship dysfunction, and especially when talking about people who have lived together for so long and how they can stray apart. It's a sad story at its heart, and that it has to come down to this point where they have to basically split up at this point, and this is the route that Darla took to achieve that. Yeah. But considering where we began with a slap that sounded like a jarring peal cracking through the air like a whip. Yeah. Robert, what are you doing, dude?
What you doing, bruh?
What you doing,
I mean,
man?
clearly he's just wasting oxygen, so...
Yeah. He seemed pretty insufferable.
Yeah, it's like, what are you even doing on Earth, actually? So I'm not super sad about it, honestly.
Yeah. What else you got?
That's all I got. I quite enjoyed it.
I did, too. Yes, I enjoyed this, Jake. Thank you. And up next, we have 908 Post Meridian by Walker by Faith.
Yes, we do. So, starting out, I absolutely love, and you know what? I even think I felt a twinge of envy that Walker thought of this before I did, which is like charting the exact time of his writing this and the 30 minutes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I love that idea. Just like sit down and you're not even trying to come up with a story or a plot. You're just literally chronicling what's going on in your head with the passing of the minutes. I love that. And I kind of want to do it. Can I steal your idea, Walker?
Isn't this just like freeform writing? Like, what's the word? Stream of consciousness writing?
Well, I don't think it's total stream of consciousness, because I feel like stream of consciousness is more like
uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted. It's just very loose. It's just like, there's no structure. There is structure to this. I feel like he's taking his thoughts and putting them into like a digestible form. But it is actually his thoughts that he's having at those moments.
Yeah.
And I really, really like that.
Yeah, it's a very interesting idea. And the musings that we get here are equally interesting. I believe kind of the tone that I was left with was bleak, yet full of faith.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, very much like Job. Bleak, yet full of faith. And I'm just curious your thoughts on the tone and the message of these musings.
I feel like it's just very raw. I feel like it's just his. Honestly, it reminds me of myself in a lot of ways, because it's like you can't deny that reality is painful, and you're not trying to deny what's happening, but you still have this thread of faith that you're hanging on to, trying desperately to find meaning in the suffering.
Yeah.
And trying desperately to find a shred of hope. And so that's what it is to me. It was very relatable for me. I don't have children, and I haven't experienced that, but just the feeling of like desperation, you're in the darkness, you're struggling, like everything has gone to hell in a handbasket, but you're desperately clinging to some shred of hope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of read aloud a little bit. 922, post meridium. My mind wanders on the topic of the struggles of young adults in this current age, and most especially in this current year. My mind thinks back on conversations had with young adults struggling with mental health and the realities of a life lived attempting to find a place and a purpose. And I listen to them. Sad to think of what a disservice my generation of parents has done for our children, as in giving them everything their hearts desired, or attempting to with all our being. We created an age of persons who expect life handed to them without thought of cost and without a hint of gratitude for said life handed to them. Mm-hmm. Yet at the same time, in my listening to their flawed logic and self-centered ramblings of the self-same struggles of working and parenting and loving and partnering that all persons must someday face in whole or in part, I respond only with non-judgmental kindness and simple advice based on my experiences of living. Mm-hmm. That is some profound writing, in my opinion. And furthermore, I think it's just good writing, especially that last paragraph. Yet at the same time, in my listening to their flawed logic and self-centered rambling, I won't repeat it, but that whole last paragraph is one sentence and a statement unto itself. I think there's some real gems in this piece.
Yeah,
here.
For sure.
And I feel like that part around 922 really is, that's a real gem, Walker. I really enjoyed that. There's a lot said there that I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. And honestly, like in this entry, it was the content that struck me more than the form. Well, okay, except for the timing, like the chronicling of the time.
Yeah.
But I do have a situation in my family similar to this. And I saw this like, that's another reason I could really relate to this is like the waffling back and forth between being angry at them for being selfish and self-centered, and then being like desperate for reconciliation and desperate to like accept them back into the family. But then you go back to being like pissed off for how incredibly selfish they've been and how much they've hurt the family, and then you go back and you're like, but I would give anything to have them back.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've how do I say this? I've had this idea for a long time, and it basically is derived around exactly what you're describing. Mm-hmm. Like when you're conflicted between these two emotions, you just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I kind of equate it to something being out of tune. Like, God, I'm such a music nerd.
You are.
Whenever you hear two notes out of tune with one another, or even sympathetic notes that are out of tune with one another.
Dissonance.
Well, it's not strictly dissonance. It's out of tune. Like it is not in tune. And so its intonation is wrong in such a way that you can't reconcile it. And physically you hear this sort of yeah sound and this oscillating sound. That's precisely like that's how I know that I am out of tune with something, is I keep bouncing back and forth between feeling one way towards someone or something and feeling another way towards someone or something, the same someone or something. And so it just feels like something is not lining up. Something is out of tune. Something is just not cohering the way that it's supposed to. And that is my way of saying, like, I've given this idea that you're talking about a lot of thought before. And once I recognized it many years ago, it's amazing how often I feel that way. just out of tune with something. And it could be, I think the most interesting part is after having thought about it long enough, I can start to see it's like, I'm not out of tune. This person is out of tune because I feel okay.
Yeah.
But I can see where they're coming from.
Right.
But at the same time, like there are times it's like, oh no, like I am missing something. Like I am out of tune with something.
Yeah.
Because I keep my emotions are in this constant oscillating flux. So yeah, that's my long-winded way of saying I totally understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way I think about it is strictly musical.
Right.
It's like being out of tune.
Yeah. But that's true though. That's a really good analogy, you know? And the fact that you can recognize it and kind of like put it into words, I think is the most important step. Because
knowing is half the battle.
That's right. Yeah. I feel like knowing is a little bit more than half. 51%, I'd say.
Yeah. 50.1%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah. The very least.
But yeah, Walker, I really like this idea. And as Rachel mentioned, the format of this is very original. I really like you calling up Job here because, yes, that very much feels like the theme that you're driving at. This very bleak, almost hopeless, yet full of faith. Like it's, it certainly landed. Your message, I feel like, very, very well landed with me.
Yeah, can I just digress for a moment?
Please.
Okay, so sorry, this is a total digression, but well, it's about Job, so but not really.
We'll call it a tangent.
Yeah, it's a tangent. There you go. Okay, so when I was living in Saudi Arabia, and it's a Muslim country, and all of my friends were Muslim, I noticed their use, obviously, of the term Alhamdulillah, which means like thank God, kind of, or like praise be to God, kind of type of thing. Alhamdulillah. And, you know, if I said, oh, I, made it safe to my destination, they would, of course, be like, Alhamdulillah. They say it all the time. Okay. But I noticed I had a friend, well, my best friend there, Iman, her like stepfather died. And I was like, I'm so sorry that happened. And she was like, Alhamdulillah. And because you don't understand, you can read in a dictionary what something means, but you don't understand the context the contexts in which it is used until you experience it.
Yeah.
So she said, Alhamdulillah. And I was like, I wasn't like confused or taken aback. I was just like, okay, I'm learning a new usage of this word because she's very, very strict Muslim, you know? And, and it immediately reminded me of Job, because Job, whenever he found out that all of his children had been killed, it says he fell down and worshiped God. And so it's like this idea of, despite my loss, despite the pain that I'm in, I still thank God, and God is still good. I still thank God, or like I still praise and fear God or something like that, you know? And then I saw it being used, Alhamdulillah, being used like that more and more. Like whenever people would have a tragedy or something would happen, you know, they would just be like, Alhamdulillah. It's like a need to recognize the sovereignty of God regardless of what's going on.
Excellent. Yeah. I have a really hard time with religious themes. It's because I'm not religious.
Right.
Like, I'll openly admit here, I am atheist, but I have an immense respect for all religions and their history and everything. And this is both of those like Walker's story here and your story just now is very, very moving, very interesting because that level of faith is it's very profound. It's a very important thing as humans for us to understand what it means to be faithful.
Yeah.
And that's excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
No, totally.
I really like that, and the way that it carries across into Muslim.
And just to circle back around to Walker, I almost feel like this entry is Walker saying Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's saying, I've lost so much. I am suffering so much, but look at what God has given me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Alhamdulillah, Walker.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Quite. Thank you, Walker.
Thank you, Walker.
All right. And up next, we have Waiting by Richie Posier.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Richie.
How you?
How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Okay, so what'd you make of this?
I really like this for what it's setting up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I like it for what it's not doing with a zombie story.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking, I think, a literal bird's eye view. I say literal. A figurative
See?
bird's eye view of a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. This is very interesting. I like this perspective that we get. So I think the main thing that I like about this is the actual perspective that we get of this scene unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
It's very it's a very high view, both literally and figuratively, of this scene. Like we kind of get this overarching view for everything that's happening around in here, and some excellent dialogue to accompany that as well, and this kind of balance between what we see and what we're talking about in this story. I really think that this struck a really nice balance between narrative and dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
My favorite part of this was the description of the zombie. I thought that was really, really good. It was really gross. Levi looked over at their bicycles and noticed a rotter that was dragging itself along the street, entrails painting the pavement as it went. Fingers were worn away to the second knuckle, and its face hung in ribbons of congealed blood and flesh. That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excellent description. And I like that it takes until almost the very end of the story for us to get that description, because we basically just kind of get this zombie horde, like almost just the implication of this zombie horde as it's described to us.
Right. And I kind of like that also, that it was closer to the end, because it didn't rely on that like shock factor to reel the reader in, but it relied on the dialogue and action sequence. You know?
Yeah. It's relying on the characters, not the shock value.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what I walked away with was, I believe it was in the comments, someone said, I couldn't really get a grasp for names in this and like who was who. And Richie came back and said, yeah, it's not really that important. But I really do think that you managed to build the most fundamental groundwork for some very relatable characters.
Yeah.
Just in this, because I was actually quite the opposite. Like I was very much there with each of these characters and their names, especially with names like Sybil in particular.
Yeah.
Like that's just an excellent name.
It is. Honestly, I felt like the names were different enough that it was easy for me to differentiate.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I could really grasp who was who right from the start.
I did too, I think.
Yeah, Levi and Sybil. Those are very unique names.
Yes.
And recognizable enough, and we get rooted with them, especially over a distance where they're communicating over a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
It's really easy to know. It's like, okay, so we're with Levi, and at the other end of this walkie-talkie, across who knows however far, is Sybil. And so I think between that physical separation within the story, as well as just knowing that Levi's here by himself, I was able to latch onto these characters and who is who very easily, actually.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Don't think that was a problem, I think.
And I was struck by how calm I believe Levi was whenever Sybil is like, it's looking about as you'd expect. Damn things are crawling all over the place. They're headed your way, though. It's slow going, but they'll be there. And Levi is just like checking his rifle and stuff. I don't know why, but I really like that part because it makes them seem like professionals.
Yeah, highly competent.
Yeah, like highly competent. Like, because if I knew that there was a horde of zombies coming my way, I would freak out probably, or I would just lay down and like die.
Yeah, certainly just lose my shit.
Yeah,
in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think from the most basic, this is doing a great job setting the scene and getting these characters started with us. I think to dive into it a little bit further, the way that you're approaching this zombie story and the antagonist, the zombies themselves, I thought was very well executed.
Yeah.
Just seeing the horde from a distance.
Yes.
And having it kind of relayed secondhand to our point of view character via this walkie-talkie. I thought that was a great mechanic. And then, as Rachel mentioned, the description of your zombie is gross, dude.
It's sick.
That shit's sick. Yeah.
But I do like how this team seems very competent and confident.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hot.
It kind of is. Yeah. Yeah. And the way that you're right, kid. I'll make it in 15. Levi chuckled. So it's despite everything going around, Levi is still just like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly competent, very skilled.
Yeah, he's like, meh, we got this.
Yeah, I think these are some excellent characters to run with. I like this. I like this direction that you took with the zombie story. Very fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Thanks, Richie.
Thanks, Richie. That was great.
Excellent. And up next, we have The Arson by Nick Yu.
That's right.
That is right.
That is so right.
Hey, Nick. So yeah, we're still in this
video game.
Yeah, this RPG setting. So we have a different type of character. We have a firefighter.
A small one.
Well, yeah. And again, okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Are both of these characters halflings, or is it just the one?
Oh.
We get so this is one thing I feel like we always get a lot of the people around our point of view character and their descriptions, but so little of the point of view character is described here. So are we working with two halfling firefighters?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
As a non-gamer, I apologize because I know that that's not cool at all, but I struggle to latch on to the RPG format.
Okay.
In fact, I don't even know what RPG means. I only say that because Matt says it and I assume it's talking about video games.
It stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm just kidding. It's role-playing game.
Oh, see, I thought it meant real person gaming or something like that.
It's a role-playing game. Essentially, like you play a character who levels up and you have skills and things.
Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. So I think that gamers would totally, jizz for this.
The reason... okay, so I'll go on a little bit of a tangent of my own. One thing about role-playing games, especially the tabletop variations of role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons being one of them, is it's a highly narrative game. And part, if not most of the game, is the players are actually just collaboratively writing a story together. And so you're just, through various mechanics at your disposal, you're essentially concocting a story by chance. And some of it is through dice rolls and things. And so the outcomes of your choices are determined largely at random or based off of some things that are available in front of you. But at its core, it really is there to tell a story, which is why I think this format, it's not necessarily a novel idea, but I do think that it has merit in the way that a game can be a story, just the way that a story can also be a game. So like if you have one, it can easily work the other way as well. So that's why I feel like this really does have merit to it. Even, and I can understand why you would bounce off of it. Because, yeah, you're not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination.
I used to do Mario a lot in my youth and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. So,
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the extent. And Pac-Man, like Tetris. That's the extent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like modern games, I'm going to throw out some of my favorites. Fallout, a highly narrativized RPG game.
Mm-hmm.
You literally go out and do whatever you want. Skyrim, same people made it as Fallout. And as I've already mentioned, Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate is a recent game that came out. Highly narrative. I'm currently going through Horizon Zero Dawn. All these games are very much telling a story.
Okay.
And some of them do it very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stories that come out of these games, man, the first Fallout game that I played blew my mind for what it could do narratively.
Damn.
So it's just a very fascinating format to take. I'll put it that way, and I'll put away my soapbox. How about that?
No, that's great.
But what I really like about what Nick Yu is bringing to us here is this is not just a standard fighter going in fighting people. This is somebody who puts out fires.
Yeah.
And so from a gaming standpoint, would you play that game? Like, the goal is to go put out a fire.
Yeah.
Would you play that game?
Yeah.
I would too.
Sounds like a obtainable enough goal that I could like comprehend what I was supposed to be doing. Yes.
Yeah. But then you can also dive into, and this is kind of what I really liked about this. We get some of the more mechanical aspects. I felt my danger sense coming up. And then there was another one, Power Strike, no backdraft. So we get these little mechanical aspects to this game / story that we have here that really further complicate what it means to just play a game as a firefighter. And you start to get some of the reality of what it is to be a firefighter. And so whenever you're going into a house and punching down a door, you have to worry about backdraft.
Yeah.
And so like we're recognizing some of the complications of putting out a fire, even in just a gaming atmosphere like this.
Yeah.
So I really like it for the creativity that it can bring to something and still be dramatic in the way where you have to put out a fire. So it's, I don't know. I get kind of space brain with some of these ideas, but just know, Nick, I am here for this. This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
I will say that I very much enjoyed the names. Uruk Thindin. Uruk, by the way, sounds Mongolian. Thindin does not, but
yeah, Uruk made me think of Tolkien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like orc.
Yeah. And the Urukai.
Yeah. I really liked the horse thing here that was happening.
Oh yeah, because they're not just riding a fire truck. They're taking horses.
Oh yeah, the horse was swift, augmented by whoever had raised it and whoever had trained it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one of my best friend's cousins, Olana, which means red. Because a lot of times in Mongolia, they give you your nickname based on the color that you were when you were born. Yeah.
So just born red.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, and if you're like brown, you're Barana. If you're white, you're Tsarana. But this one was Olana. So he was apparently a red infant. Anyway, and in the valley where they lived in their yurts, he was supposed to be the horse trainer, you know, and basically he was the middle child and he was kind of supposed to be in charge for training the horses, herding the sheep, whatever. So anytime that something was fucked up, like the horses were acting wrong, it was Olana's fault. And they're like, if the horses were like being bad, they're like, well, Olana must have fucked up. If the sheep were being bad, they're like, fuck you, Olana. Damn you.
I love that idea. You could just pass all blame for these animals onto somebody
seriously.
else.
So then after I first realized that theme, then me and my friend would just joke anything that went wrong in life, it's Ohlana's fault. I'm like, damn it, Ohlana.
How dare you? Oh yeah, so the what do they call them? The water containers that they have to carry because they don't have a fire hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
What would you call that? Like they have to carry water to a fire to extinguish it, that without like using, firefighters use a
what would you call
hydrant.
the container?
Well, yeah, the container, the mechanism, like what is that?
The container, I think, could be a vat.
Okay.
Isn't it called something like that? No, there's a name for it.
From like a handheld firefighter thing?
No, there's a name for it whenever they would pass the bucket of water down. And it's like a fireman
brigade?
Something, but there's a word for it.
Ooh, that I don't know.
That was from before hoses existed, I think. I think it's a British thing. I could be completely full of shit right now.
So the one thing that kept coming to mind is the only like person-sized firefighting implement that I'm aware of is called an Indian pump.
Okay.
And it's essentially a backpack full of it's like 5 gallons, and it just has what's essentially it's like a glorified super soaker.
Okay.
Basically, but it's a backpack and you have a little pump and you can pump water. And so I was wondering if maybe that's what Nick to you meant by a water container.
I don't know, but listen to this. A firefighter water bucket line, also known as a bucket brigade, is an early firefighting method involving a human chain passing buckets of water from a source to a fire.
Yeah, but in this case, it's just 2 of them. So how can you bucket brigade that?
Well,
maybe the horse gets in on it.
It's like the Pony Express,
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
This method was particularly important before the advent of hand-pumped fire engines. It is still used in certain situations where more modern methods are unavailable or impractical. I'm trying to see how many words I can say without taking a breath.
And then she just passes out.
And then I die.
But yeah, look up Indian pump and tell me if you've ever seen anything like that.
Okay. Indian pump. Are we talking like hotel Indian or casino Indian?
Irrelevant. It's as far as I know, it's just called like an Indian pump.
Okay, yeah, 5-gallon Indian fire pump. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen that, but it looks almost like a rudimentary fire extinguisher.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a person-sized firefighting implement. And the only reason I know about it is because they use it in Under the Dome by Stephen King. And that's the only time I've ever heard the term Indian pump. So I felt like I needed to share it here because Nick, you mentioned in a comment, he's like, I wish I could better describe what it is that they're holding.
But
it's it sounds like they're glorified super soakers.
Size? You want it the size of a human?
No, it's meant for a person to use. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A personal firefighting implement.
I see a picture of this guy from a long, long time ago who's wearing it like a backpack.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And the idea is that you fill it, like they stay filled, and then you just grab it, and then it's ready to go.
Cool.
To use. But I was just gonna throw that out there as an option for maybe another thing that Nick could put in there to possibly describe these water containers.
An Indian pump. Yeah.
Indian pump. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But all in all, I really like, I continue to like these lit RPG entries that you're bringing to us.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this inclusion with somebody who is not so much just an adventurer, but just kind of a support character who's meant to fight these fires. These felt like some particularly rich characters for these stories that you've brought to us so far. I think maybe because they're support characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're meant to be helping hands in this case. But based on the ending, I think you can just roll straight into whatever else that you had planned after this. I don't think you necessarily need to break here at the very end. I felt like this is a story that needed to just kind of keep going a little bit further. So,
I was interested though in the I don't know how to say it. Lepin. Lapin.
Oh yeah.
Lapin. And that's French for rabbit.
Yeah.
I looked that up because I was thinking that it might have something to do with a wolf because of the LP. But yeah, but actually in French there's not the E at the end, I think. I think it's just, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, but
I don't either, but did you know that it's also the language from Watership Down?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did, because I looked it up today. Yeah.
I love that.
And it's just like, I really like that inclusion of this rabbit creature. You know, is it an actual rabbit or is it just a rabbit-like creature? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because we kind of came off of the description of the orc from last week as being kind of maybe a little bit lacking, and I think this is an excellent response to that.
Yeah.
In the center of the room, framed in tongues of flame, there stood a lapine covered head to toe in rags, obscuring all details about them besides their red eyes, white fur, and their rabbit-like ears poking out the top. It's still succinct, but it's very descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really goes to clarify lapine as rabbit-like. Yeah, and that if we came across the word lapine and we're thinking, you know, why does that sound familiar, but I can't place it? And then you give us enough context with rabbit-like ears poking out the top. It's like, that's why it sounds familiar. Because by the time I got to rabbit-like ears, I was like, yeah, lapine. And again, I couldn't tell you that, oh yeah, I know this word from Watership Down or from whatever context I have. You give us the context for us to associate it within the description itself. Yeah. So I like that means of using something complicated like the word lapine and then immediately giving us the tools to decipher what it means. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
I love this idea of not
that was good.
Gatekeeping words.
Yeah, no, that was good because I did not know what that meant.
Yeah, it rang a bell, but I could not have for the life of me told you what it was.
The only thing that it made me think of was lupine, which is relating to
dog.
Wolf.
Yeah, wolf, dog, yeah. Yeah, lupine.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, excellent description there. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
And up next, we have Stoned.
Yes.
By Walker by Faith.
Yes.
Again. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Walker. Welcome back.
So.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'll start us off.
Please do.
Yes, this made me actually laugh as I was reading it. The part that made me laugh was where it says, as I realized that the commercial I was watching was actually just a reflection of me standing up from the couch, I burst into raucous laughter. I've been there. I feel this so hard. Hey, somebody commented that's some really strong weed or something like that. But honestly, almost every time that I am high, that's similar to the experience that I have.
You're just sitting in front of an off television thinking you're watching a commercial.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Like where there's just so much going on, you know, like there's so much static like in my head. And then it's really hilarious when you realize that
literally nothing's happening.
Literally nothing's happening. You're alone in a room and it is deafeningly silent.
There is literally zero static.
Like negative static.
It's inverse static.
It's inverse static. But in your head, there's this whole thing going on, you know? And I love that feeling.
Yeah, I'll admit this is kind of a dark take on getting stoned.
Well,
but yeah, it's both dark and right on the money.
It's definitely right on the money. I mean, I feel like it doesn't get dark until you find out that he's apparently killed somebody.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, don't let certain Texas politicians read this. They'll use it as a means of further trying to incriminate what I think is a perfectly reasonable thing to legalize in the state of Texas.
No, well, one thing that really struck me was whenever it came to the part that he had apparently skinned and killed somebody, hopefully in the opposite order. I hope to God that he first killed them and then skinned them.
Right.
No, but he didn't, because she was screaming as he was peeling her skin off.
Right. So no, that didn't.
So no, that didn't. But whenever I read that, I was like, oh, that's weird, because I would never ever associate a stoner with violence, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. If anything, you would associate a stoner with the exact opposite. Just sheer unwillingness to do anything.
Right, exactly.
Or inability to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then I was like, okay, and I actually thought this over today, and I was like, okay, but I'm sure that the weed isn't, well, obviously the weed is not the reason that he did this, but I'm sure that there are sadistic psychopaths who medicate with weed, you know? And so I'm like, okay, this is just like a sadist who also happens to smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we get this. Rose and I had begun vaping together, and she gave me some new shit she'd gotten from her cousin. She knew I'd try anything because, after all, we joked that since her name was Rose, I was clearly her bud.
Yeah.
It's clever. Regardless, the shit she had was amazing. My whole body tingled, and I wondered if Rose was tingling also. She said she was, and that she could feel it even under her skin. When I peeled it off, though, she wouldn't even tell me if it still tingled. All she did was scream.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
That was I feel like that was very well written, though.
That is a very effective turn.
It is, because I'm just, like, you don't see it coming at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they're just joking, laughing, it's tingling, and then whenever I peeled it off, holy shit, dude. Like, goddamn. That's
all she did was scream. What the fuck?
That's one of the most effective mid-paragraph turns I've ever encountered.
You know what? It gets very poish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then whenever he's building the wall, that's straight out of Cask of Amontillado.
Straight up, yeah.
Straight out of Cask of Amontillado, yeah. Like, you stole that from that, right?
Yeah.
Walker, just admit it.
Yeah,
we know.
Just go on.
Just go on and say it.
Just say it.
We're fine with it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I would judge you more if you didn't say it.
Same. Same.
Yeah. But yeah, very Poe-esque there, walling them in. But I do like the absurdity of stoning in a stoner while stoned.
Right.
Like it is clever.
A stoner is stoning someone in.
Yes. That being said, in this day and age, in the state of Texas, please don't let people think this is how stoned people operate. Because there are people out there who would believe that this is what happens when you get stoned.
No, seriously.
Yeah, I feel like mixing messages around something like this right now could be really problematic. That being said, I love this story.
Me too.
I really, really like how you were able to turn it around on us here. Very well done.
It's hilarious.
It is. It really is.
It's hilarious. And then at the end, it's really tragic.
Really fucked up.
Yeah, and then he's still just like laughing his ass off, you know? Yeah. Very effectively described. Very accurately described.
Very. Yeah. Thank you, Walker.
Thank you, Walker. That was great.
And our last story for this week is an untitled story by Erechi.
Oh my God. Hey guys.
Hey, Erechi.
Hey. So, Mage, what'd you make of this?
You know, I really didn't like it.
Oh, wow. No, fuck you. Go fuck yourself, okay?
It felt derivative. No,
oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Derivative. All right, fine.
No, I really liked this. I'm gonna lean on Nick to you because I feel like they said it best. This is eerie as fuck.
Yay!
Like there's a lot to this story that just lends to this really uncomfortable feeling that you have the whole time. And I do think so much of it is it's obviously spoken throughout the story, like what would make me feel this way. But at the same time, so much of it is just you just kind of gloss over it. You just move through it.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what, Nick, you brought to my attention is that it never dawned on me that the holy man is employing a slave to do his work.
Yes, I saw that
That's
comment.
kind of upsetting. But granted, it's could be a means of world building as well.
Yeah, honestly, whenever I read that part, I was like, okay, like that's an interesting perspective, because that's not, for me as the person writing it, that's not the point for me is that this is the world that they live in.
Yeah.
It's like a medieval world of life is not fair and it's cruel, and this is the hand you were dealt and you deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
But to a modern audience,
yeah,
it strikes this kind of uneasy feeling. The tone of it is just that much darker.
Right.
I guess for it.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I think it just furthers your tone and your themes. I feel like being in a setting like this. So I really liked that.
Thank you.
So this is a flashback for Yusuf.
Yes.
And I guess my question is, if you're willing to answer it, is this the same jinn that we were dealing with?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
I love your portrayal and the differences that we are able to see between this and the former.
Yeah, because the kind of like thing that I wanted to like harken back to last story's gene was the eyes. The pale green eyes. And it's a female, you know? And so yeah, it's the same gene.
Yeah. Don't we get some description that might make us question whether it is a female gene? No. It felt mildly androgynous.
Well, I mean, the gene was in a man.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah.
But it's still a female.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So that's part of what was confusing. I don't know much about the lore of Jean, and this felt more demonic than it did Jean.
No, it is. This is my own like take on a Jean, because actually, okay. So when I lived in Saudi, that is their word for like demon.
It's Jean.
It's Jean.
Ooh.
Yes. And I was surprised to find that, because in my mind, Genie, you know, I'm like Robin Williams, cute.
Yeah.
Funny.
3 wishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
songs, dances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they would tell ghost stories, and it would always be about a jinn. And it was creepy as fuck. And so for them, the evil presence, the ghost, the demon is jinn.
That's fucking rad.
I know. It's rad as fuck.
I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and I love this kind of, it feels like cultures colliding here, because everything about this story just screams demon. This is just a demon. But as soon as you label it demon, it comes with expectations and connotations that as an American audience, you're expected to fulfill.
Right.
As soon as you put Gene in there instead of demon, I feel like you've opened up so many doors that would have been closed had you called them demons.
Yeah.
Because again, a lot of what we get here reminds me of a demon story. But just by relabeling, not even just relabeling, but by classifying them as Gene, you open up so many options that would otherwise be unavailable to you as a demon story.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Thank you.
This is very cool. And the tone that you've struck here, I think, is very fun.
Yeah.
And dark as fuck.
That's what I was going for. And honestly, like, I didn't have time to comment on my own story, but I wanted it to be creepier. And I was really trying to... Okay, so here's the thing. I shared this with somebody before I posted it, and they were like, not an American. No, they are not an American.
They are not
not an American. And they were like, they didn't understand the idea of a feminine demon in a male body.
That is tough to comprehend.
Yeah, but the reason I did that is because I thought about the trope, which it's usually in just classically speaking from like The Exorcist, etc. It's a girl, you know, who has a demon who's doing like a really creepy man demon voice, you know?
Yeah.
And the creepy thing about it is the dissonance or the incongruity between it is a female vessel and this creepy male voice coming out. And that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of like reverse that and make it a male, a very like manly male with like a feminine voice coming out. But I wanted to do it without making it comical.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that is a tough line to walk.
It is, because like then I think about examples like Norman Bates.
Yeah.
You know, and whenever he's like doing his mom, in a way it's creepy, but in another way it's hilarious.
Yeah, and part of that is just the time gap between when it was made and when we watched it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because watching it back then, it probably would have just been creepy.
Horrifying.
Yes. Yeah. But watching it now, it's just like... LOL.
This guy.
This fucking weirdo.
Mom quote.
Yeah, right. And so I wanted it to be terrifying and very off-putting and unnerving, but not funny.
It really... I think for me, you struck that. Mm-hmm. You really did strike that. At no point did I think that this was funny. Mm-hmm. And let me see if I can wrap my head around why I thought that. Yusuf's eyes widened at the incongruity, your own word, between the man's appearance and his voice. And who is this gorgeous slave you've brought with you? The man lilted as he licked his lips and penetrated Yusuf with his lustful gaze. You offer enough kind of cringe and squirm things, penetrated Yusuf with his lustful gaze. Yeah, you give us just enough cringe and squirm in the language to keep it from being comical.
Okay, that's good.
I think that's how it worked. Are we to call you Venus then? His voice boomed. Well, that's my name, isn't it? The djinn teased. Yeah, so you offer enough emotionality in those moments that we're not given an opportunity to think of anything other than what you're giving us. So because you're right, it would be very easy for that to be comical. Yeah. And not unsettling. Right. But I feel like you fill in the emotion for the reader as we're reading to keep us from thinking that it could be funny. Yeah. I mean, because at no point did I think it was funny. Okay, that's good. That's great. Yeah. Also, I did ponder on the fact that, or the idea that the reason that I add the like sexual themes in there is because I think it works on a Puritan audience. Because sexual themes are creepy and scary and ominous to Puritan people. Yeah. And I mean, people with puritanical roots. Right. If you're a wasp, then you would get the creepy factor of like, oh, they're being sexual and it's creepy as fuck. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is creepy. I will say it is creepy. I think, the word that Nick, you use, eerie. It's generally a very eerie story. Yeah. And you give us enough different aspects, enough different means of arriving at that kind of eerie conclusion, through the characters, through the tone, through the setting. So much of what that is just reinforcing that kind of eerie everything. It's all, eeriness. Yeah. Thank you. But I do think maybe clarifying that it is a female djinn in there. You gave us the clue that it is Venus. Right. That is clearly feminine. Okay. I think make sure that a 7-year-old reading this would know that it's a female djinn in a male body. How do you think I would go about that? I don't know. Are you saying that taking into account the last installment, the first installment, where it was Daisy? That was the maybe that's the other thing. Maybe that would make it easier. Is make it clear that this is hearkening back. Like maybe frame everything that you do here as a memory from Yusuf after what happened prior. Yeah, and I think you may have.
I did.
It may just be a lack of my recency with your old story.
Yeah, that's what I ended on in the last one.
You're right. You're right.
But I started with this because I thought about starting this one with the paragraph I ended on last time, but then we had the intro line. So,
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's hard to frame anything with an intro line.
Right.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? It's fucking stupid.
That's dumb.
But yeah, if you take that one into account, then I wonder if it would be more obvious that it was a female gene.
It would. As a matter of fact, if this immediately followed your previous entry, it'd be no question. It'd be obvious that that was meant to be the same gene.
Right.
Yes. Then revoke everything that I just said, because if it was to follow, then there'd be no confusion there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I really like this.
Thank you.
There was something I really wanted to read out. Actually, it was your intro line, not the intro line. So we begin. The jarring peal cracked through the air like a whip. Yusuf peered up at the bell tower as the mercilessly cold wind bit deeper into his skin. He licked his chapped and peeling lips, knowing that doing so would only serve to intensify the burning sensation. His breath like a cloud of smoke in front of his mouth. He inhaled deeply, then exhaled into his thinly gloved hands to produce some measure of warmth. That's a great way to set us up, and just I think that's a great way to begin.
Thank you.
It's very descriptive. And it's a great way of rooting us in a very specific moment in time, especially with he licked his chapped and peeling lips, knowing that doing so would only serve to intensify the burning. I think that's just really well done.
Thank you.
I really like that for dropping us into a moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite well done.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. After actually, when I was talking to this mystery non-American reader,
okay.
And he was like, I've never heard of a female demon possessing a man. And I was like, that's fantastic, because that means it's a novel concept.
But
then I was Googling scenes of like possessed people, and I came across The Exorcist. And in the scene that I saw, it's very cold in her room, and they can like see their breath. And I had forgotten about that. So maybe subconsciously somehow, I don't think so though, because it's been so long since I've watched that. But I was like, okay, this is like precedented, this like very, very cold, like frigid environment where the demon is living.
It's kind of tropey. I think it comes up in Harry Potter, that comes up when the Dementors show up. Everything gets cold. I feel like ghosts usually involve it getting cold around as well. So I think the precedent.
Like
I think the precedent is there. Oh yeah. Sixth Sense, the
Ooh,
movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I need to revisit that one.
It's so good.
Yeah, so I think you're right. The precedent is there.
Yeah.
For
coldness associated with demons or ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherworldly.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rachie.
You're welcome.
Excellent entry. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all of our stories for this week.
That's the last of it?
That's the last of them.
Oh my God.
So thank you, Jake, for being selected here today, along with Richie Posier, Walker by Faith, Nick to you, Ed AHC. Thank you, guys. Thank you, every one of you.
On behalf of all of us, you're welcome.
Okay.
What? I'm serious.
And that moves us into episode 46.
Hell yeah, it does.
Hell yeah. So for episode 46, we issued a music prompt, which you can find on the subreddit under episode 46, labeled music prompt. And there's a link on there. Just go on and click that. It'll take you to the YouTubes, and you can watch an excellent live cover of a song that I really enjoy.
He loves it.
It's a great song. It's a great tune. It's a great cover. But the words to accompany this prompt are unrest, concern, threaten, steam, and bleed.
Oh, those are gonna.
Who by fire and who by water. So before we get away from the prompt, I usually, for music prompts, I intentionally avoid anything with lyrics or
but
anything.
Not this time.
Anything that is overtly programmatic, like telling a story. I don't feel like this song is telling much of a story, but it's heavily implying a theme. So I was like, oh, let's just run with it and see what happens.
I'm happy about it because it fits right into my story.
And I feel like others probably agree with that as well. I think we've all, I say we all, I feel like most of our writers have been kind of dancing around these themes. So let's lean into it.
Yeah. Just lean right in. Why not?
Go on, lean.
Go on, lean.
Go on, lean. Okay, but our first word, unrest.
Yes. Wow, unrest. Okay, so this has to be a noun.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I just thought of a funny thought, which is what if it was a verb? Instead of being like rest.
I'm going to extract your rest from you. You are unrested.
Is that possible? Can you think of a world in which that's possible? To extract someone's rest from them?
Yeah, I think Nick Yu's world, it'd be possible to extract somebody's rest from them.
Oh, like the video game world?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like an artificial world of some kind.
It's like a damage.
Yeah, a form of damage. Yeah.
They take your rest from you.
You take 3d6 unrest damage.
Unrest damage.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so, but usually in Earth, unrest is a noun, and that's a pretty uncommon noun. Like, it's not used a whole lot. I mean, we all know what it means, but it's just not used a lot. So...
Actually, it's fascinating you mentioned that. I looked up unrest, and you know how you look up a word, it gives you usage over time? This word's most used time was in the 1920s, around a certain world war and depression. Yeah. So
unrest.
It peaked there, and it's been at its highest since then. It peaked around the 1960s as well. Then
interesting.
Yeah, that's a fascinating word.
That is very fascinating.
So our next word,
right? Wait, should we think of an example of how to use unrest? The unrest was rampant.
Yes.
During the Depression era.
Yeah.
The populace was afflicted with agonizing unrest.
Yeah, and a lot of it can be associated with like sociopolitical. And so like
That's very true.
Yeah.
The unrest in a certain country or something.
Or in a certain community.
Right.
Yeah. A subset of a community. Yeah.
Very true. I think it's almost always, from what I've heard, used like that.
Yeah.
Sociopolitically.
Yeah. And our next word, concern.
Concern?
Concern about unrest.
Oh.
In the highborn.
Among the highborn.
Among the highborn.
Yes.
Concern of unrest among the highborn.
There were rumors and murmurs of unrest among the highborn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but concern.
Right, especially concern though.
Yeah, most especially concern.
I had forgotten about that. Okay, concern. It is a noun and a verb. So does that concern you? It concerns me that and then it's a great concern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of... Wow. There actually is quite a few definitions for this. More than I anticipated.
Concern.
Yeah. Relate to.
Oh, yeah. Concerning. It's an adjective. Yes. This concerns. Yes, absolutely.
That is technically a verb.
Oh, no, totally. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But concerning in that form, it's an adjective.
Yes.
Or it can be an adjective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worry. It could, concern. Someone is concerned. And then in the noun form, anxiety.
Totally.
A matter of interest. It is a concern. Yeah.
Does this concern our conversation yesterday?
Not to my knowledge.
I think you're right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Concern, man. What a exciting word. I'd like to share the etymology, but I've only got the prefix, which is with. That's kun.
Kun.
Mm-hmm. CERN, I just don't. It's not coming to my mind right now.
It's the Large Hadron Collider in Europe.
CERN. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The particle accelerator.
Right.
CERN.
Yeah. Isn't that in
Yeah, with CERN.
Yes, isn't that in Sweden?
It spans multiple countries, I believe. It's huge.
The CERN?
CERN Collider. Wow, it's even spelled the same. CERN. CERN.
Wow.
The world's largest and highest energy particle accelerator is a 27-kilometer ring of superconducting magnets buried beneath France-Switzerland border near Geneva.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it spans France and Switzerland.
Damn. Of course it does.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Not surprised. The French.
Yeah. With CERN.
Mm-hmm.
The particle accelerator.
That's right. That's right.
That is cause for concern.
Yes. Quite.
And our next word.
Indubitably.
Threaten.
Threaten. Okay. Threaten is obviously a verb.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a verb. There's no other usage.
Right, because threat would be a noun.
Right.
But threaten must be a verb.
Right.
Yeah. And basically to propose violence, or not even violence, but to propose some
negative
sort
consequences.
Of antagonistic means.
To propose an ominous venture. It's to harm. It's to indicate future harm.
Yeah, basically kind of propose violence, I think.
Or not just violence, but harm. Propose harm.
Yeah.
Propose harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Harm propose.
Harm propose.
Mm-hmm.
Propose harm propose.
Yeah.
Right.
And our next word, steam.
Steam. Oh man, I love steam.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because steam is a conflagration of warm particles of moisture.
It is the vapor form of water.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the version of water that is a vapor.
Right. Okay, so it doesn't have to be warm. Like there could be cold steam.
Well, technically cold steam would condense back into water.
So cold steam is water.
Cold steam is water,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
And really cold steam is ice.
Okay. So steam does have to be warm.
It really does.
But how warm does it have to be?
The vaporization point of water, 100 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
Yeah, boiling point is where water becomes vapor.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah.
It's like my water kettle. That's when the steam starts coming out is when it's boiling.
Right.
And that's when you turn it off.
Yeah. Because that's the point whenever water as a liquid can only reach 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. And beyond that, it doesn't actually get hotter. It just turns into steam. So once it reaches 100 degrees Celsius, all energy is converted into vaporizing the water, turning it into steam.
Okay.
Steam can become much hotter beyond 100 degrees Celsius. And so it can get extremely hot as steam beyond 100 degrees Celsius. But as a liquid, 100 degrees is as hot as water can get. Distilled water.
Okay.
There's a lot of caveats to that answer.
Okay.
But the same applies for water as a liquid can only be so cold. It can only reach 0 degrees Celsius. Beyond that, it's just ice.
Right.
But ice can get much colder than 0 degrees.
Yeah.
So in the liquid state, water can only exist between 0 and 100 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, it is some other form of water.
Okay. Yeah, that's great to know. And it makes me wonder again why we don't use Celsius. Because it's just so...
It's inherently more obvious.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a question though. What about whenever steam gets, let's say, to 200 degrees Celsius? What happens then? Does it disappear? Does it stop existing?
No, it's still steam.
It exists forever and indefinitely as hot as it gets?
Steam can get extremely hot.
Okay.
There are, just to give you an idea, like a boiler is full of hot water and steam. But essentially, by keeping it under pressure, you're able to raise the temperature of the water inside because it's under extreme pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Without getting too far into the science of that, if that vessel were to rupture, all of that water would immediately flash into steam just because it is no longer under that pressure. And so that energy is immediately converted into transitioning it from water to steam.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can become extremely hot and actually explode because it's A, under pressure, and B, undergoing a state change into steam. And so water can exist as steam up to extremely high temperatures.
Interesting.
Like cook your face high temperatures.
No,
like,
I believe it.
Like very hot.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've read plenty of stories about people having their faces cooked by hot steam.
Yeah. Steam is nothing to fuck around with. But also, yes, like steam engines were a thing for a long time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of power behind steam. And for what it's worth, we still use steam to power, I want to say most electric generators at scale use steam to turn a turbine.
Okay. So steam is good.
Steam is the shit, dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's legit.
All right.
Even a nuclear power plant. They use nuclear power to heat up water to turn a turbine. Not even kidding.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe you because I have no idea on the matter, but I know steam is powerful. I will say a quick excerpt about steam, and it's not about Mongolia.
Okay. I thought it was going to be like a limerick on steam.
There once was a steam named McSteamson. Okay, so I had a student who is from Angola, and he had been in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And he had 0 sense of smell. He couldn't taste anything. Well, this guy, he was in the Navy and he was on a ship.
As naval men will do.
They will.
Be on ships and all.
They will.
Yeah.
He opened, there was like one of those big pipes, you know, those big pipes that comes up on ships. You know what I'm talking about? Pipe. Like a big one, like this, like
a 3 feet across?
Yeah, or
like a 18 inches across?
Yeah. It's like
it's a pipe.
It looked to me like a pipe. Anyway, he took the cover off of it because something wasn't working in it, and he was looking into it, and then this burst of steam came out in his face, destroyed his olfactory completely.
Yeah.
And he had no ability to smell or taste anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, literally burned his senses away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's
probably lucky that's all it did.
Yeah, totally. But occasionally he would say things like, when you lose one of your senses, like, it's no joke. It's like you're debilitated. And even losing your sense of smell is like debilitating.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. But anyway, steam is powerful.
Quite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And our final word, bleed.
Bleed?
Bleed.
All right. Well, bleed is
a verb
or a noun.
Also, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like he has a serious bleed, a nosebleed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So bleed can have to do with blood, but it can also have to do with just like the transfer of like color. You know, like they say that we don't want your colors to bleed.
Yeah.
In the washing machine or whatever.
You can also refer to a hydraulic line.
Okay.
You have to bleed the line.
Oh.
So that there's no air in a hydraulic line.
Yeah.
Same with a pneumatic line. You have to bleed any moisture from it. So there's only air left in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically draining something from something.
Right.
It's bleeding it.
Well, interestingly to me is that bleed is transitive and intransitive.
Oh.
Yeah, because I could be like, I'm bleeding. You know? That like it makes my nose bleed or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't have a direct object, but you can also bleed something.
Yeah.
Or bleed someone.
Yeah.
You know? And that to me is very interesting because
you're right, that is uncommon, yeah.
It is uncommon. Most verbs are either transitive or intransitive.
But never
but not bleed.
Yeah, not often are they both.
Right. So, yeah, you can bleed. You know, they used to bleed people.
Yeah.
The doctors.
With the little masks.
Yeah, or some weird shit.
Plague masks.
Right. Because they thought you had.
Shit.
Right. Because they thought you had like the wrong amount of like the wrong balance of certain blood or something. You know those weirdos in like the 1800s?
Yeah.
Some weird shit.
Yeah, those scientists.
Right.
Heavy air quotes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, God, to live in that time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not for long.
No.
Am I right?
No, you're right. You're right. Because did you also know that back before anesthesia, like some outrageous number, like 30% of people died at the dentist just from sheer shock of pain?
Just to die at the dentist. Ugh.
Yep. And what they would do for anesthesia is they would literally punch you in the face. I'm serious.
No, I believe you. Just the image in my head. I could just I'm sorry. I just imagine sitting down for like my tooth cleaning. It's like, okay, wait, are you ready? Okay, I'm ready. They just start wailing on the guy in the chair.
Sucker punch. And then have like a rubber mallet on hand in case you wake up. Little knock to the cranium.
Oh man, times have changed.
Oh, they have. Thank God.
Yeah.
Little cranium tap.
And the hilarious part is, people will look back on this time and be like, "How uncivilized."
Right? No, I was thinking the same
we?
thing. They're gonna be like, "Can you believe it? They used to poison people who had cancer."
Heathens.
Yes, like barbarians.
So those words again are unrest, concern, threaten, steam, and bleed. And if you want to be like these wonderful writers and submit your story to You Write, head on over to our subreddit at reddit.com/r/YouWritePod.
If you're unable to submit a story this week, that's fine. You can help out by reading and commenting on other people's stories.
Each time you post a story or leave a comment on someone else's submission, you increase your chances of having your story read on the podcast.
You can also reach us at yourightpod@gmail.com.
And if you like our show and want to help support us, consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/YouWrite.
If you're unable to donate, that's fine. You can help us by sharing the podcast with other writers and non-writers alike.
And if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcatcher so you know as soon as new episodes are available.
Also, be sure to leave us a rating and review in your podcatcher of choice.
And remember, join us next week on You Write,
a podcast where you write. If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, ride it on my boat.
See y'all next week.
We would all and meow 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 meow.